And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast. We talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, Austin Creed. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is a tough show for me to do today. I held off on doing this show very early on because it wasn't something that I really wanted to discuss. But unfortunately, it's long overdue. So today, we're going to talk about Walt Disney's dream and how it's been desecrated, distorted, and hijacked by the left-wing vermin. By the Leninists in the media, the Marxists, whatever you want to call them. I think they're more like Lenin than they are like Marx, and I'll explain why. But I don't take any joy in saying that. In fact, it makes me very sad. I have not gone to see the new Little Mermaid movie just yet. I actually saw clips of it because I wasn't a huge fan of what they did to Ariel's character. And frankly, what made me the most upset was what they were basically telling African American people in this country is that we're not going to make you a whole new character like we did for Tiana. We're just going to give you leftovers and just change existing characters. We're not going to give you a new one. I found that to be disgusting. And my friends, I'm going to get into this very minute detail because I'm trying to not let it out all at one time. I'm fuming with rage. I was talking to my grandparents and my parents over the weekend about this. And it got me so angry. It got me so angry. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. Disney was a huge part of my childhood, as it was for probably a lot of you out here are probably still big fans of Disney and you haven't let it go yet, despite the fact that they hate you if you're a conservative. They hate you, and it's all about the agenda. So I'm gonna really try not to blow a gasket before I get going in the show, because as soon as I blow a gasket, it's gonna be just a wrap. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit, and I'm going to... First of all, if you're new to the show, you picked a hell of a time to show up, because this is going to be you might want to turn down your headphone volume on this one, because I guarantee you by the end of the show today, I'm going to blow in a gasket, and I'm going to be just letting it all hang out. I don't give a damn. I'm going to go full out on this show today. For those of you who know me in real life, your opinion of me might be different after the show today. But because this is a very dynamic conversational topic, to participate in today's show, go ahead and go over to Twitter and look up Austin Creed, or look up my handle, Aussie Creed, and you can follow me on Twitter. Hit me with anything you think I missed, anything you think I should have done better, worse, whatever. Or answer any of the questions I posed throughout this show today. Because I want your thoughts. I know I'm not alone on this. I know for a fact I'm not alone on this. I know I am not. And I want there to be a full discourse about this, because Disney has impacted pretty much everybody. I'm sure that everybody listening to this show has seen a Disney movie, a Marvel movie, a Star Wars movie, anything. And that brings up another point. Add George Lucas to the list of people who've been smeared, whose dreams have been destroyed by these left-wing vermin. Walt Disney's not the only victim here. George Lucas's dream got destroyed and disheveled. It's lying in a gutter after being graped by these left-wing vermin. I'm not pulling any punches today. I'm not. I'm sick of it. And you're going to see all of it by the end of the show today. In fact, you know what? We're going to get started. I'm going to pull up CNN of all places, okay? Y'all ready for this one? Here it is. If those of you saw the movie, what did you think? I saw the songs, and I've seen clips of it. I refuse to go to see the movie, even though I probably should. But I don't want to, because number one, I am not a fan of what they did to the movie. Number one. And number two, oh god, Disney is just going through, Disney is sacrificing Walt Disney's art of storytelling and the beauty he found in the art and just throwing it in the gutter and saying, you know what? As a story, we don't care about the story, we care about the message. We care more about the political undertones than we do about the actual story being told. And in the words of Stan Lee, when the subplot becomes the main plot, the story dies. When he talked about how Stan Lee, the mastermind of Marvel, he was quoted as saying, do you think it's a coincidence that after Stan Lee died, may he rest in peace? After he died, do you really think it's a coincidence that Marvel went and freaking just flopped like a fish on a beach? I mean, let's be real here. That's why. Because he was the one holding back the vermin from wrecking it with their politics and their communism. In fact, I will read you some of the quotes, and I will read you some of the quotes that I could see Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, for those of you who actually take her seriously, as I don't. I could see her saying these things. I could see Bernie saying these things. I could see Joe Biden saying these things. I'll give you some quotes later on, but before we do that, look at this. CNN, in other words, fake news in my opinion. CNN is the journalism. You know what? It's a family show. No, it's not. No, you know what? Your kids might not want to listen to this one today, because I don't usually go off the handle and use strong language. I usually don't on the show. But today might be one of those days. So here it is. Here's CNN. They said, The Little Mermaid remake has been the subject of controversy in the right-wing media. Oh, I wonder why that is. Could it be that was exactly their intent the whole time? And on some social media platforms with users posting racist tropes. Oh, so it's racist when I say that you changing her to be black just to be black is racist. Meanwhile, in China, look at the poster for the movie in China compared to America. In China, they don't highlight that she's black. Why? Oh, I don't know. Ask them. Could it be that they're insinuating that Chinese are racist by default? Could it be that they think that, if we make her look more Caucasian, we could fool a bunch of those Chinese to go to the movie? I don't know. It's possible. I just find it very peculiar that in America, they made it very obvious that Ariel is black now. Versus in China, no. They didn't do that. We wanted an actual story. But instead, they say, you know what? We'll give you a remake, but we'll add Virtue Signal, we'll add CRT, we'll add everything under the sun. In fact, we'll take out some of the songs. We'll change the canon almost entirely, and then we'll give it to you, and you'll like it. And if you don't like it, you're a racist. That's what they did to you. Let's keep going. It's not the fact that she's black that bothers. You see, this is the problem. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever see them making a remake of The Princess and the Frog and have Tiana be white, and then having Naveen be white? I doubt it. I doubt it very much. And yet, that's exactly what they did to Ariel, and yet they wouldn't do that in reverse anymore, would they? And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, like back in the 50s, hey, schmuck, I never said that was okay. I know there are movies where, they had white actors playing black people. I never said that was okay. Are you listening to a word I'm saying? I'm saying that all of it is bad. And then people cite that as a reason of, because it happened back then, I can do it now and it's totally fine. And if you say anything, you're a racist scumbag. Oh God, the film director. A Disney film director today, their calling should be going to a middle school where they can teach kids who are white to hate themselves. That's what they should be doing today. Called Critics' Complaints About Casting Ariel Black Small-Minded. Oh, because you don't like it. Oh, I get it now. So, when the people who are going to consume your product say, hey, we don't like what you're doing, instead of saying as the creator, wait a minute, so if my audience doesn't like what I'm doing, I should probably, give the audience what they want, considering they're the ones paying for it. He says, no, it's your job to like my product. It's your job to like what I put out there. It's your job to like it, not my job to appeal to you. In other words, if I wrote a book and my book sucked, and then people were telling me it sucks, and I said to them, well, guess what? That's not my fault. It's your fault. How dare you not like my product? It's your job to like my content. No! And that's what he's saying here. He says that if you don't like what he's doing, well, then you're small-minded. He insults you and says that it's your job to like it. And if you don't, you're a racist and you're small-minded. You see that? You see that? And look, the Caucasian people in this country, whether you're European, whether you're Arab, apparently Jews are considered white now. I don't know how that happened, but apparently that's a thing now. Apparently, if you're Caucasian and you don't like it, well, then you must be a racist. You see how they do that to you? Oh, and then they take it instead of saying, "No, I'm not a racist. I don't think you're good at your job." Duh. I mean, my gosh. Of course he said it in Vanity Fair of all places. One of the places. They're just like CNN. They make most of their money off of bashing Trump every day. Many have argued that casting a black actress in the role helps black children feel represented in popular culture. Schmuck! Make a new story, like The Princess and the Frog. I actually liked that movie. I thought it was great. See, for those of you who are uneducated potheads who don't know anything, you don't know anything about the world. You just know what's been fed to you in university, high school, middle school, etc. You're brainwashed. You would agree with what he just said. You would agree with that argument instead of saying, you know what? Wait a minute. Mermaids are more of a European folklore thing. Instead of taking a African folklore tale, an African mythology character, instead of taking something like that and making an actual story out of it, an original one at that, instead of doing that, we're going to just change the existing canon because we're lazy, number one, and because we know we can get away with it, number two. And because our writers are on strike, number three. Oh, you didn't hear about that one, did you? Probably not. Yeah, the writers were on strike. Again, the whole thing is so stupid. It's so stupid. And I'll tell you what. The day they change a black actress or actor role, whether it's Black Panther, whether it's Tiana from Princess and the Frog, or whatever, and they change their race to white, okay. What's good for the goose is good for the gander then, I suppose. You know what? At least they're consistent. I guarantee you that day will never come. Never. Absolutely not. And I'm not saying it should. I'm saying it's never going to happen. And they're trying to pretend like it was a great box office boom. They only recouped half the cost an opening weekend. 125 mil, last time I checked, was what they pulled in over the weekend. And it cost them $250 million to produce the film. And they're trying to pretend like it's an amazing success. I'm just gonna rub my eyes for a second. Oh my gosh. It's just so bad. It's so bad. And then if you don't like it, well then you're the racist scumbag. Let's look. You know what? Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm insensitive. Maybe I'm just a mean conservative. So you know what we're going to do today, ladies and gentlemen of the Sheep Get Sheared podcast? We're not going to yell. We're not going to get upset. No. We're going to read very calmly now. I wouldn't want people to get freaked out and turn the show off. No. I want to very calmly and very precisely and very delicately read Walt Disney and what his vision was for his company. Now, let us begin. Let's not scare the people away now, because I know that when I yell, people can get frightened, especially the women. They're gonna get scared. They don't like a man acting like a man. They want someone to act like a metro. So That's exactly what I'm going to do for you right now. I'm going to sound very calm and quiet, and definitely not with any, authority or any brashness now. Absolutely not. So we're going to calmly and collectively, we're going to read this real fast, okay? Here it is. It says, Walt Disney would never have imagined the Walt Disney Company as it exists today. Oh my. I sure doubt that as well. I agree with that. Thanks to the global branding, Mickey Mouse is now one of the most recognizable images on the planet. Yes, in fact he is. Walt Disney was a storyteller. Oh, well that's interesting, isn't it? Because when's the last time that Disney produced an actual amazing story? Oh, what's that? Crickets? Oh, that's right, because he doesn't anymore. It produces propaganda, not a story. Oh, you know what? I can't do it. You know what? I thought I could be calm. I thought I could be collected. I thought I could be a very nice, monochromatic, nicely toned individual. But I'm not, damn it! And I'm sick and tired. And you know what? We're gonna jump into this because guess what? I'm not gonna take this lying down. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. Why do you think Disney is changing? Because I can give you the answer. The answer is right here, actually. Let's go to the next one. We might come back to that one later. Here's the next one. The DeSantis Disney story. Oh, you forgot about this, didn't you? You forgot that Disney threw their hat in the ring in politics and was basically going to say, yes, we want all this LGBTQ stuff for our children. We want all of it pushed down your throats. And if you don't like it, well, that's too damn bad because we're going to keep doing it. And if you don't like it, you can kindly fuck off and we're going to keep doing what we want. Well, Governor DeSantis, like Dennis from Jurassic Park said, I don't think so. No. He waved his finger. He said, And then he said, you know what? You want to step in the ring? Okay. Well, then guess what? Here are the rules of the game. And he slapped them with the rules of the game. And then they would try to cry foul ball and said, oh, you're so mean and horrible. And this is all wrong. And you're signaling us out and blah, 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 blah. So let's get into the story. This is the New York Times now. It says, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida has conducted a long-running campaign to limit the autonomy of Disney World, one of the state's largest employers. Now, again, this is losing him money, but you need to understand something. They decided that they were going to start playing politics in Florida. And he said, I don't think so. You want to play politics with me? Okay, well, here's how the rules are played. And he gave them the rule book, and then they started to complain. His efforts have widely been seen as retaliation for Disney's opposition to legislation that Mr. DeSantis signed last year that prohibits classroom instruction and discussion about sexual orientation and gender identity in some elementary schools. Ladies and gentlemen of the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, I have a question for you. How many of you actually think that discussions about gender identity and sexual orientation belong in an elementary school? Truly, I want to know. How many of you think that that's actually something that should be not only in your elementary school, but at your Disney trip and on Disney Plus and in Marvel, in Star Wars, and everywhere else? How many of you actually think that's a good idea? Because I want to know. I want to know how many of you actually think that that is a good idea. Maybe I am truly in the minority here, where I think that that is child abuse, in my opinion. Because you're grooming children at that point. You are grooming them. People who don't know anything about sex, they don't know anything about sexual orientation or expression. They don't know anything. They're kids, for God's sakes. They don't know anything about it. And they shouldn't. They're kids. And yet here you are saying, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go and talk about it. Oh, and if you don't like it, well, then you're the bigot. For those of you who support this, Here's my counter question to that. How would you feel if your kids... Wait, am I kidding? You don't have kids. But if you did, how would you feel about your kids being taught sex ed in elementary school? You know, like normal sex ed class. How would you feel about that? You probably wouldn't like it, would you? Well, guess what? Now you're a hypocrite on top of being a loser and a moron. Now we're going to go back to this. In March of last year, the governor signed into law the Parental Rights and Education Act, often referred to as the Don't Say Gay bill. Okay, that was such a effing lie. That was such a lie. It never actually said that you couldn't say the word gay. Never said that in the bill. I've looked at the bill, never said that. But of course, to get the dummies out there in the streets to riot and protest and burn shit down, they decided to say that. Those lying bums in the media, those mook bastards, decided they wanted to do that to you. It never says that! And yet, of course, no one is actually going to research that. Like the useful idiots that Lenin wrote about, they're going to believe it because the media said it, and then they're going to go and burn shit down, which will then make the media's ratings go up. You don't see how this works, do you? The legislation prohibited classroom instruction and discussion about sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity in elementary schools. Yeah, I said that already. The law was heralded by conservatives and scorned by LGBTQ+. Of course it was... Oh, and school teachers. School teachers were for teaching your kids in elementary school about gay sex, about non-binary, and everything else. Really? Really now? Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, if you're a communist vermin, that's great. How can you support this? I don't know how you could support this. Oh my god. Look, okay, you know what? I talk about Lenin, I talk about useful idiots. For those of you who don't know who Lenin was, he was the forerunner, the head of the Russian Revolution. And I'm going to read you some of the quotes that he said, and let me know if you could see any one of the Democrat politicians in office right now saying any of these things, either behind closed doors or on a hot mic. Here are some of them for you. Give us the child for 8 years, and it will be a Bolshevik forever. A Bolshevik was a supporter of the Soviet Union. He said, a lie told often enough becomes the truth. One man with a gun can control 100 without a gun. He said, give me 4 years to teach the children, and the seed I have sown will never be uprooted. Has a chill gone down your spine yet? The way to crush the bourgeoisie, in other words, the nuclear family, is to grind them between the millstones of taxation and inflation. Hello? Hello, are you listening yet? You don't see what the government's doing to you? Raising taxes, like in California, where they're keeping the $200 million in tax refund they're supposed to give to the state because they're too busy giving it to deadbeat bums and illegal aliens. And at the Fed level, they're printing money like the Weimar Republic or like King Ludwig II of Bavaria. Am I the only one who sees this? The best way to destroy the capitalist system is to debase the currency. Well, hello, inflation. Hello, the dollar's going down in the gutter. Oh my goodness. My friends. Oh, look at this one. This one's great. Sometimes history needs a push. A push. What does he mean by that? Oh, I don't know. Look at the history of the Soviet Union. You might get your answer. My friends, he talks about getting children and teaching them and then them never straying from the teachings he gives them. Do you think that's an accident? What do you see going on actively today in the education system or in the entertainment world where Disney is still the forerunner for children? What do you see happening? This exact thing. Every time. What do you have to say about this? That's why I call them Leninists, because that's what they are. That's what they're doing. They are trying to get at the children to where they don't even ask these questions I ask every day on the show. They won't ask the question because in their mind they have the answer. And there isn't even a question to be asked because it's already been answered for them years ago. That's why you see this happening. That is why people who are the great storytellers of our time, their dreams have been hijacked. They've been bastardized. Thrown in the garbage can due to the agenda and virtue signaling of the left-wing vermin, the media, the communists in office. All of it's all one big circle. But you know what? Maybe I'm just some crazy conspiracy theorist. Maybe I'm just out of touch with reality. Maybe I just don't know what's going on. Maybe they just genuinely care about diversity, which is code for get the white guy. But maybe they just care about making sure everyone feels included, unless you're white. But maybe they make sure that everyone feels loved and accepted and validated in society. Maybe that's the real reason they're doing all of it. And maybe, my friends, I'm just paranoid, mean, maybe racist. In fact, no, I'm none of those things. And I'll tell you what else. When it comes to what else are we going to sacrifice? I'll tell you this right now. If I had control over Disney, I could put out some amazing content actually for kids that they can enjoy, that you don't have to filter, that you don't have to be like, oh no, are they going to have another gay kiss in there like they did in the Lightyear movie? Or are they going to try to push more non-binary? Are they going to try to rewrite history like they're doing in some of the Disney Plus TV shows? Are they going to try to push down more propagandist garbage and bullshit on my kids? Are they going to try to force feed them this critical race theory nonsense? No, I'd actually produce a story that's focused on actually telling a story that's actually good and relatable and watered down to the point where it's actually, you walk away and you think, damn, that was a great story. That was amazing. I know right now I barely have any traction. I'm just getting started, my friends. I'm telling you this right now. I will make a prediction. In fact, all of you who watch this show or hear clips from this show going forward, know you heard it here first. I'll tell you this right now. You ready for this? Get your phones ready. You want to know? I'm predicting it right now. I will build this show. I will build up this platform. I will build up this medium that you're listening to right now. I will build up myself in this show to such a level where I will buy Disney from these communist vermin using the capitalism they hate so much, and I will restore Walt Disney's dream of storytelling. I will restore his dream to what it was originally intended to be, and I'll tell you something else. I will make it better than it's ever been. I will make it better. I will improve it, and I will make sure that this never happens again. I will make sure that this propaganda is squashed, and it never shows up ever again. And I will give people of every color, creed, everything. I will make sure they are represented in their culture and their context and not give them leftovers. How's that? How do you like that? I'll do it. Won't happen today. It won't happen tomorrow. But it will happen because I will make it happen. And you mark my words. You communist rat bums who are there right now. Yes, you're there now, but you won't be for long. Not for long. I'm going to buy your company out. I'm going to buy the rights to everything you own. And you will never step foot in my company. Ever. I don't care what your net worth is. I care about what's between the ears. I care about who you are and what you did when you had the power. You mark my words. And for those of you who are laughing at me, enjoy it. Laugh it up now. Because I'll be the one laughing when I'm on top, and you're sitting there like, damn, he actually did it. You mark my words. My friends, if you enjoy what you're hearing, you should. Because it's the best thing you're going to hear today. And no one could say it better than I just did. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe to the show. Follow the show. Hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Leave a comment on Twitter or YouTube or anywhere else. Or on Rumble if you're watching on Rumble. My friends, I'm just getting started. And I love storytelling. I'm an aspiring author. I love storytelling. And the agenda will never prevail. It's about the story. It's about the art. And I'm sick of art being thrown in the back seat for the agenda. How about you? Till next time, my friends, you can find me on Twitter at Austin Creed or at Aussie Creed. And until next time, my friends, God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless this wonderful country called the United States of America. We are out of here. Peace.